My parents separated when I was 7 years old. My father moved out of the house and I stayed with my mother. I suppose there was a lot I missed about him, but the thing I missed the most was that in the evenings when he got home from his job as a physics teacher, we would work on scientific experiments together. With my father gone, I'd play with my chemistry set and microscope on my own. But every Saturday, my father would collect me from the house and we'd spend the day together. On odd days out, we'd visit the zoo. Sometimes we'd go to the park or to the beach, but mostly we'd continue the scientific experiments we'd been working on together. My favourite experiment involved measuring the falling rate of an object. We'd find something heavy and then we'd drop it from a great height. My father would time the object falling with a stopwatch and then we'd work out its rate of acceleration. I'd take basic measurements and my father would calculate the rate of acceleration by drawing little diagrams and writing out lots of equations in his notebook. Our experiments were fun for a while and I think they brought us closer together, but gradually my father began to change. On our Saturdays out together, my father would still take me to the zoo or to the park, but he became less interested in me and more involved in his experiments. He was becoming fascinated with the science of everyday life. Every single movement and gesture of the world around him became a scientific equation to be solved. Even the most mundane things seemed to have a meaning, as if some important theory was making itself known just to him. He was constantly taking measurements and recording the speeds of everyday objects. His notebook was full of equations and diagrams that I think he didn't even understand. My father became more introverted. We rarely went to the park or the zoo anymore. Instead, on our days out together, I would help him test out his theories. One of his experiments involved creating a natural vacuum using a telephone box and 50 balloons full of helium. His experiments began to demand all of his attention. The slightest lapse in concentration and his results would be made totally inconclusive. Eventually, my father excluded me from his experiments altogether. Our days out consisted of him writing up theories in his notebook and me trying my best not to disturb him. One Saturday, he took me to the beach again. We didn't speak a single word to each other. It was the last time I saw him.